Hello, my name is Patrick Burke. I'm a Senior Director and Assistant General Counsel at Guidance Software. The scariest thing about e-discovery is the potential for sanctions when you get it wrong. Most e-discovery sanctions are issued for spoliation. That is, the company's failure to timely and properly preserve potentially relevant electronically stored information, or ESI. The issues tend to be, first, did you act to preserve as soon as the obligation arose, which is when the company's counsel could reasonably anticipate litigation? Second, did you preserve data from all the key players who hold relevant ESI? And finally, did you do a good job of preserving that potentially responsive ESI? For this, the standard is reasonableness. A recent sanctions decision in Goodman versus Prax Services, Inc. is a great lesson to explore these issues because it concerns a very small e-discovery case, the type of case that could happen to any company, and because it raises the full range of issues involving preservation of ESI. It was issued on July 7th, 2009 by Judge Paul Grimm, the Chief U.S. Magistrate Judge for the District of Maryland, a leading light of e-discovery jurisprudence. In Goodman, the plaintiff was a consultant hired by the defending company, and he didn't feel he was paid in full under his contract, so he sued. But he didn't actually sue until several years had passed, but he threatened the lawsuit early on. When his threats triggered defendant counsel's obligation to preserve was one of the issues before Judge Grimm. At a certain point early on, the plaintiff wrote a letter to the defendants stating that he had consulted 2 attorneys regarding the matter. And he advised the CEO that, quote, if he was forced to litigate, unquote, then he could potentially receive damages in excess of the disputed amount of the contract. Defendant did not choose to institute a legal hold following receipt of this letter. 6 weeks later, a subsequent letter stated, quote, once I put the matter in the hands of attorneys, if I am forced to do that, I'm sure that you'll regret it for a long time, unquote. The defendant imposed a litigation hold after this second letter was received. Judge Grimm, however, found that the first letter openly threatened litigation and was sufficient to put the company on notice that preservation was required. As it happened, relevant ESI was lost in the 6 weeks between the 2 letters because it was the practice of the defendant's CEO to delete her email on a daily basis, only printing out certain email for her files. The company's lawyer stopped her from deleting emails after the second letter, but the prior emails were gone forever. The timing issue is just one of the various spoliation issues analyzed in Goodman. I recommend you read the full case. It includes tales of recycled laptops and unlabeled backup tapes and lost ESI both during a corporate acquisition and during transitions from new information to new information technology systems. In the end, Judge Grimm found that defendants' preservation shortcomings, while not in bad faith, were nonetheless willful and justified imposition of an adverse inference instruction to the jury. If you'd like a copy of the decision in Goodman versus Prax Services, shoot me an email at patrick.burke@guidancesoftware.com. I'd be glad to send it to you.